What's up, everybody? Got a great guest for you today, as always. Always got great guests, right? But today is a household name for many people in the province. She was an anchor on the K-Rock morning show, an anchor on the Oz FM morning show. Toured all around the world on cruise ships, a Disney cruise and Carnival and other cruise lines singing. And right now working at real estate. But that isn't why she was on today. None for that. It's because of the Nevaeh lemonade stand. Many of you, I'm sure, know it. Nevaeh is a beautiful little girl, 4 years old, got diagnosed with cancer, and unfortunately passed away at 9 years old, 5 years later. Heartbreaking story, beautiful story, all at the same time. Her wish was to have the world's biggest lemonade stand and to help raise money for her cause and her and her single mother to get through all the treatments and whatnot. It's crazy, man, and Stephanie became very close with Nevaeh, and she talks about how that happened. I asked her, and then she talked about her life beforehand and her time in Germany, and then that not working out and coming home, and then finding love here, and when she wasn't expecting it, and how that all ties in with Nevaeh, and it was just a really deep and great and fun podcast, despite the circumstances of it all. Steph has since kept this lemonade stand going along with many others, but she's one of the head people behind this and keeping this annual lemonade stand going in Nevaeh's name. It's a registered charity, and it's for a great cause, and it's a great episode. So, everybody, please welcome my guest, Stephanie O'Brien.
Sit back, let's have us a chat. Tell me more. Where you been and what you at? Tell me more.
Okay, first day of high school, so it was grade 9 for me because I went to Pius 10th for French immersion.
Right.
And then I went over for grade 9 French immersion at Holy Heart. So I'm standing there on the stairs and I'm looking at all the teenagers, the older ones, grade 11s, grade 12s, and I'm like, man, they're pretty cool, and they're all hanging out with their Newfoundland tuxedo on, the jeans and the jean jacket, and then this young fella goes, and he goes like that, and it just sticks and just dangles in the wind, and I will never forget it. And I feel sick every time I tell the story, and I don't know why I'm telling the story.
No.
A dangly loogie that was just hanging, and I was like, why?
How long?
This is my first day.
How long was the hang time?
It never came down. That's the funny part.
I want the spit to stay in the air.
No.
Oh, it hit the ceiling.
It hit the ceiling.
Oh.
I got tuberculosis. He spit underneath the awning and stuck it to the awning. Why am I talking about this? I'm gonna throw up.
It was something to do with Door to Explorer or something. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Where you said it was Holy Heart. Is that where you went to school? Yeah. You went to school at Holy Heart.
I went to St. Kevin's until grade 6, and then Pius 10th for the very first late immersion.
Right.
French immersion, and then that only goes 7 and 8, and then you go grade 9 at Holy Heart, and then high school.
Right.
Holy Heart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you have family in Bjorn, but you went to St. You grew up in Goals. Yeah, because I know you had family in Bjorn, because we've talked about this before, but I've never actually known. You, yeah, well, your arc, your story, like where it was, K to 12, what your whole.
Yeah, so I mean, I was born in town, I was raised in the Goals, I went to school in town, but we had a house down in Bjorn.
Yeah.
Mom had 17 brothers and sisters. We were down there every weekend. I mean, it wasn't until I was probably 15 or 16 that we stopped going down. All summer was down there. We had land and a camper on it. It was just always down there.
Right. So your mom,
always.
What was your mom's last name?
Mom's a Brushet.
Brushet, right.
So Black Duck Cove, Long Cove.
Right.
Bjorn Bay, all there. Some in Salt Pond now, but you're Marystown.
No, I was Bjorn Bay.
You are Bjorn Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, G. Royce.
Yeah.
That's where our house was.
Yeah.
That's what we talked
Yeah.
about. I used to go to G-Roy's.
Yeah.
And get some chips, dressing gravy.
I love that you know G-Roy's because that's like a deep cut, right? And I was tagged in something just recently on Facebook, and it was like people were trying to find pictures of because we had an arcade and everything there too, right? And people were trying to dig up old pictures of it. And I just seen it yesterday. I was tagged in it like 10 weeks ago, and I somehow just came across it yesterday. And I don't have any pictures of it, like, not on me. I don't know if mom or dad do, but yeah, there was like a Facebook group looking for it, and it was just like people were like, "Oh yeah," and then there was this whole comment section. Does it like people going, "Oh, best pizza, best fish and chips, or whatever," and there's a lot of people that never heard of it or never had it because it's right
I mean, you can't
down
get
there.
any
You
further.
can't get any further out there.
So the back of that store was the front of our house or the side of our house. So there's one road that goes down before you get to G Roy's.
Right.
Because it's not G Roy's. It's G Roy's.
Yeah.
Go up G Roy's, go play chips.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like we could see the back of your store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were up to Buddy Auto Body Shop, right? Up to Buddy Garage would have been because it was like up the hill.
Go down to the bottom of that hill.
Yes.
That house was floated over from Epworth
No.
and landed on that rock 100 and 200 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And that's as far as it got.
And you just kept it there.
And then
people used to do it all the time back home. Like the Heritage House, there's pictures of like because there was a tidal wave down there in like 1929 or some shit.
Everyone knows it down there too. Everywhere you turns around, there's like a plaque or a something saying about it.
A lot of people on the island don't know, but there was like we know because it's like you couldn't not know, right? It was like the talk. It's like one of the most historical things down there.
Isn't there something down there like an artifact from the Titanic, like a life jacket washed up on shore, and somebody has it down, or like maybe in the Bjorn Heritage House, or is there a museum across the road from that?
Yeah, well, there's two like museums / heritage houses down there. I do know there was like the first ever like scuba diving thing. It looks like an astronaut
Yeah,
suit.
no, I've seen that. That's
Yeah.
in the Heritage House.
Yeah, that's in the Heritage House. Yeah,
That's where we used to have. They used to have the family days, right?
Right.
Bjorn Day.
that blows my mind. Like that like
Dance at it. Mom and I would get up and do like tap dance or we'd line dance because Mom was teaching line dancing down there at Nicky's.
of course. Nicky's. I was never in
AJ's
Nicky's.
Shooters.
Yeah.
Still there. Still all there.
Yeah, JJ's still there. Nicky's is now Smuggler's Cove. Have you been to Smuggler's Cove?
Yeah. Wait, no, I didn't. I don't know if I put that together. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, I played Smuggler's Cove,
Yeah, it used to be Nicky's.
and my cousin got married there. I stood in his wedding in the rain at Smuggler's Cove on the stage. I forgot that was Nicky's. I was thinking of the Fox Cove Community Center. I had them mixed up.
No. Yeah.
I a couple weeks ago.
Were you? Yeah. That's so wild, though, because, like, that is such a very specific spot of the island. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I try to tell people, man, oh, my God. I mean, I'm sure you probably got this. Like, people ask me where I'm from, and I'll say Bjorn. And they go, yeah, what part? And I go, Bjorn. Do you have people on the island that don't know that there's a town called Bjorn?
I think it's Bjorn Peninsula.
The Bjorn Peninsula.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So they just think I'm talking about the peninsula. And I'm like, no, the town of Bjorn. But then you got...
From St. Bernard's, you could be from John the Bay, like, oh, that's Bjorn Peninsula.
Right, Grand Bank, Russian, whatever.
Go further. Go
Right.
as far as you can go. And that's where G rises.
Right. And then I try to explain to people, too, like, so you get the town of Bjorn, and probably the best way to explain it, Goulds is a great example. Like, so Goulds is St. John's, but it's also its own thing that's kind of like disconnected from St. John's. Bjorn Bay was like that. It's a part of Bjorn, but that's 10, 15 minutes on up in just this little cove.
Gives me Collins Cove vibes.
Yeah, Bjorn Bay and Collins Cove, right? It's just like a couple hundred people max. Right, you're right in the water, and when you look at the map, you realize it. No, they moved into town in 2018.
So which house would have been yours? The church, if you go past G Rise.
Yeah, take it right.
There used to be a Salvation Army church on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Salvation Church on right. So you get Salvation Church on the left. So then, as you're passing that, there's that loop, right?
Yeah.
There's that crescent.
Colin Foot lived down on the right-hand side.
Yeah. So it's right on the corner. It's right on the corner. So if you drive past it, it's the first house on the right, or if you go down the loop, it's the first house on the left. Big yard, big fence.
God.
We used to play baseball in it.
We probably made out and don't even remember it up behind you, Rise.
I'd remember. But maybe you wouldn't.
I'm a little bit older.
But what's crazy is to be in such a specific neck of the woods, and like I don't remember any crossover. I remember the first time that you mentioned to me that you had a family down there and this that. Like I remember it blowing my mind
That I knew.
that you knew it all.
Did you go to St. Pat's?
No,
You
that's
went to
Catholic. See,
You went to that small one up
Hartford. It used to be Sheens Hill School,
Yes.
right? But that closed down. The year I was going to kindergarten, that closed down. So
But it's still there.
no, it's all bulldozed. But the grass is there. They cut the ground.
Ground is still there.
The ground is there, but so they cut the grass so like to play so kids can play whatever. But there's no kids now, so now it's just a make work project. They're just cutting grass that no one even uses.
Feel like there's life gone out of it.
I suppose so. It's been nothing but that for the last 40 years. I'll try. But here's the thing. It's bad. It's bad. Like I hate it because I love home, like, because it's home. But every time I go, you know what pisses me off is, with comedy, I've gotten to see so much of the island, the province, and the country that I otherwise wouldn't get to see. You're really getting into all these nooks and crannies and communities and getting to hang out, like all kinds of spots, right, that you wouldn't typically go. And once you do it year after year, you really get a good, like, finger on the pulse of the island. Like, okay, this town is like this, and this area of the island's like that, and this area of the island's like that. Like, year after year, you get more and more. And you see how towns do things and don't do things, and right?
Personalities of a town.
Yeah, and you see it. And it's really sad to see, like, down home on the Bern Peninsula. Like, it has some of the least amount of pride and hope on the entire island.
By Smuggler's Cove, is that bringing it up a notch?
Yeah, well, thank God for, like, Smuggler's Cove.
I think they've added some of those. I don't know if you've seen them. They've got those, like, one-room huts that are down by the water that you can rent out.
Which is awesome.
It is.
It's awesome, but down home is so... It's so beautiful. Especially when she gets down, around,
Stunning views. Going around to Scrape and all that.
Turtle Island, and then around Fox Cove, Mortier, and Porterbras, and, Lewins Cove, and Epworth, Bjorn Bay, Collins Cove, all of that stuff. And then even down, Marystown and John the Bay, there's so much Mooring Cove and Spanish Room. There's so much stuff to see.
All around the circle.
And then you get Grand Bank is full of history. Right, and then you get the connection there to St. Pierre and everything.
Don't forget.
There's so much.
Point May.
Point May, yeah, of course. How could I forget Point May?
I'll tell you now, I went to a wedding. I was standing in with one of the Strangs from Point May, and I knew his wife, that he was the woman he was marrying. So we were standing. So we were driving down. There was a whole bunch of us, all the townies coming out, right? We were calling our car Benders on George because we were going to open up the back and drink out the back of around the parking lot of the church and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, we couldn't wait to get there, and we drove. And then we're in Grand Bank. And I was like, where's Point May? All right, go back. So we drive us back again. Nobody can find Point May. Back to Grand Bank again. I stopped. I said, stop at this garage. I was like, where's Point May? He goes, see them 2 or 3 houses back there? That's Point May. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And when we go back, we see the sign, and somebody had written on it, said Point Mayhem. You may turn down the road.
Nothing to it.
Junior's down there drinking all the alky coming over from St. Pierre.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what a time we had. What a time. Point
Of course.
May.
Yeah, if you could just do something with like tourism or craft, like put a craft.
Trying. They really are. Like, they've been trying to do stuff with tourism, and they've really cleaned it up, and there's lots of nice, like, memorial plaques and lookouts and the walking trail and stuff. I think they're trying, but if the population is not there,
Yeah, I know.
it's not there.
I know. It's
Right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, boy.
It'll always be home.
Yeah, I know. But every time I go down there, like I'm hoping that I'll go down there and there's something that's like bringing me back.
Webs at JJ's.
And it's like, but it's not always not bringing me back. It's like it's always less and less and less every time I go there.
And I guess now, if you don't have a house down there, like,
Right?
it's different. Like, you go down, like, there's no home for you. That got to be weird, too.
It is.
To go down to Bjorn Bay, past what used to be your dad's place, and then somebody else is living in your house.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. And it's like Nan is there and it's good to see Nan and stuff. But like anything is too, like being in your 30s too, like whatever friends I have left there that are still there.
Yeah.
Like they're all married youngsters and they're doing their own thing. So you don't really even see anybody when you go down there. So it's just
It's just not the same.
No.
Just times have changed, and we've grown up, and population's smaller, and it's just,
yeah.
Just
So I was gonna ask that, and that makes sense, I guess, a bit now. So you grew up in the Ghouls.
yes.
So tell me now. I'm gonna like make sure. Is it Nevaeh? How do you say?
Nevaeh.
Nevaeh.
Yeah.
Nevaeh.
It's heaven spelled backwards.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, that is trippy.
Charlie's middle name, my daughter Charlie, her middle name is Nevaeh.
Ah,
Charlie Nevaeh. Yeah.
Nice.
My nose, did you?
Yeah. So, okay, how did you get to know her?
So that story is wild because I had just moved home from Germany. Unwillingly moved home. I'll put it that way.
Right.
I thought I was spending the rest of my life there, and it just one day everything just changed, and I ended up just like packing up and coming home.
Right.
And I was at my friend Dana's house in Southlands, and we were in a hot tub, and we got out, and the phone rang, and this was Nevaeh's cousin calling, saying, "Hey, so Nevaeh has cancer, and we're gonna do a fundraiser, and they're looking for a musician." And I was like, "Well, like I can help. I'll play and I'll help organize the music side of it."
Right.
So it just happened that it was just like that. And then that night, Nevaeh came to her own event. She had been at the Janeway that week for treatments. She walked out of the Janeway straight to the fundraiser for her and got up on stage with me. And we were like that ever since.
Really?
She was my maid of honor at my wedding. You know, I used to sleep over sometimes at the hospital. She'd come over to our house.
How do you get close with a child like that?
It's weird. And you know what? It's never happened before, and it hasn't happened since. It was just one of those things. I mean, aside from my own child, there was just, I can't explain it, Colin. It was like, we just met and we were just like, wow, we're tight. Like, we knew right away. And
It's like a kindred spirit thing going on.
yeah, it was so crazy. Yes, Dolly.
Remember when Nevaeh took the medicine and then got mad at you?
Yeah, I was just Charlie's talking about how I used to go into the hospital and she'd have to take this certain type of medicine, like a Dex or something, and it would make her just furious and angry. And part of it is like, you're in the hospital so much. Like, yes, you're going to be angry and frustrated, but that just put her next level. And I got there one night, and Holly was like, "Tag, you're it, I'm out," and put me in the room. And I was like, "Don't leave me in here. Don't leave me in here like this." And she was like, "You're ruining my day." And I was like, "Nevaeh, I'm leaving. Don't leave me." It was just wild. It was wild. And I called Holly. I was like, "Come back quick. Save me." Yeah. Yeah.
So she fought. She was diagnosed at 4 years old, right?
Yeah. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, her first like kind of scan had come back, I believe, when she was 2, but there was like a relapse, but they couldn't really call it a relapse because she wasn't in a treatment when she was 2.
Right.
That's if my memory's correct. But Holly was telling me the story about how she woke up one morning, that Holly's Nevaeh's mom, and like there was this like big bruise on her eye, and like she hadn't fallen down. And anyway, they ended up getting a scan, and she was like a Christmas tree lit top to bottom. Oh, man. Yeah, and I mean it's a parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah. So did you know the parents?
So I went to school with her dad. Now her dad passed away a couple of months before she was born with cancer.
No.
So I mean, some people.
That mother.
I mean, Holly's a force. She is a.
No kidding.
I mean, it's wild.
That's great. I didn't even know that part of the story.
Yeah. So, Nevaeh actually never got to meet her dad because he got sick.
Right.
So, yeah. So through the treatments and Holly and Nevaeh understanding how hard it was to just day-to-day money, like just daily spending money. Like you can't work when you have a kid that's sick. Like you can't. Like how? And there's money out there, but it's not a lot of money from the government.
Right.
The support is, as best as they can do, I guess. But after we fundraised that money for Nevaeh, she called me one night, and I was in bed because I was working at Oz at the time, and I was in bed early, and the phone rang, and I picked it up, and she was like, "I want to have a lemonade stand." I was like, "What?" "Yeah, I want the biggest one in the world." I was like, "Hold my beer. Let's go." So we weren't planning on it being this big, to be honest.
So the first one, where was it? Was it Ghouls?
Yes, it was on the right in front of St. Kevin's on that grass, that little racetrack, not a racetrack, but sorry, right on that front piece of grass in front of the old St. Kevin's, like the elementary. And we ran out of lemonade. Dad was up to Big Goods trying to buy all the orange juice and apple juice. We had people down the road that were just lined up down past the church, and I was going, "We have no lemonade. Dad's gone to get apple juice." And like all the antique cars were around, like surrounding us and pulled up. And it was the most, I hate saying something's magical because it sounds so flaky, but it was goddamn magical.
Right, of course.
It was
Yeah.
the most heartwarming. Like she was beaming. Like this was her thing, right?
Yeah.
So it was a really special day, and we raised, I can't remember how much we raised, but we did really well.
Right.
And we decided that that's what we'd start doing. We'd start giving back in like, $5,000 increments to a family. Straight, here's $5,000 cash. Now we've grown a lot. We've become a charity since that, very first lemonade stand. But
How many years did you have it?
it's 11 years now. Now, COVID kicked us in the arse, and we couldn't do it for like, I think 2 years.
So she started to stand at 4 or 5 years old?
4.
Right. And then
Four.
she ran it with you guys.
And it was just a group of friends. We were all friends. We just like, this one, and I know that one, and I can do the PR, and we can run the world. So come on, let's do it.
Right.
And it really happened like organically and fast, and all the pieces fell together, and it was for the right reasons, and it was a real feel good thing. And I'll be honest, without getting like, wham, but I had lost a lot of purpose in my life. When I got back from Germany, I didn't know what was happening in my life.
Right.
I thought I was getting married and spending the rest of my life there and having German babies. I really did.
Right.
And somewhere along the way of those years in Germany, I lost who I was. I lost everything about who I was to try to be something I wasn't for somebody that didn't love me.
Right.
And so I remember that last birthday I was in Germany. Now, I got sick over in Germany, and I had multiple surgeries. I had tumors removed myself. My dad was over, but I was on a no-fly list. I couldn't fly because of the tumors. So I had a full year of healing before I could fly. That last birthday, the girls gave me, my German friends, like the girls on my soccer team, gave me a guitar. And it was like the beginning of getting out of Germany. And so I just started playing music. I did the Voice of Germany over there. I flew to Berlin and did the show. And then I got this tattoo when I came home, and it says, in the end, the music will set you free. And so I came home. I was like, that's the right thing to do. But when I got home, I didn't know what I was doing. Where am I going to work? What am I going to do? Everyone's kind of moved on with their life. What am I doing with my life? And so I just that was like something that I was like, I can do something good, and I can help, and I can do this, and this will feel good, and I'm helping, and this is it's almost like it just was the right time. I found a purpose while I was home. It wasn't paying money. I didn't care. It was like it gave me a focus to do something, and it felt good to give back, and it felt good to help. But it just became so much more than that after I met her.
Right.
And everything kind of just started to fall into place. I mean,
Right.
I met Nevaeh. I had my job at the station. I met my husband, my now husband, like that. Those like first 6-7 months after all this was like everything just kind of came together. So I feel like everything was meant to be.
Right. You met Drew at the lemonade stand?
No, I didn't. I mean, in that time frame, like I met him. Well, I'd sworn off men, kind of, ish. And I was like, no, I'm gonna focus on myself, focus on this lemonade stand. And I went to Glenwood to drink with somebody else's family and met my husband there. No cell phone service.
Right.
I was drinking with his family the whole night and met him the next day. And I was like, okay, all right.
Have a good time with this guy.
I was like, well, I talked to him that night, but the next morning his aunt said that he was a part of the ministry. And I was like, I was not getting that vibe last night. Like,
Okay.
not even close.
Right.
And through the jigs and the reels, I found out, like, she's from Ontario, so, like, Ministry of Finance or Ministry.
Right.
He's with, like, the Department of... he's a conservation officer, so that's ministry in Ontario, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, he's not a
Right.
priest.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah. Because I remember when you first got with him. I remember how happy you were.
I was happy.
Yeah.
Not anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. What an arsehole.
No, but I have been ever since. Because I remember, like you say, you were single for a couple years or whatever it was, like leading into that. And I remember when you got you could see the shift.
Yeah, I was ready to meet my person.
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting to meet them that fast.
Yeah, of course.
And it happened.
But that's the way it always goes. You don't know.
I know, man. It's
There's no plan in it. There's no
better man on this planet than Andrew James Scarving Dyke.
That's a testimonial right there. That's good.
It puts out me Rotmans.
Gonna go soak in the tub now. Yeah. That's great. So because you were in Germany, so because you were working on cruise ships, right?
Yeah, I was on cruise ships.
So you were singing?
Ever singing.
Right.
I worked for Disney, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and an English cruise line. And in between that, I worked at K-Rock, and then I wanted to go back on the ships, so I went back on the ships, and then I came home, and then I moved to Germany, and then I was gypsy.
Right.
I didn't want to settle.
Right.
I mean,
you're-
I did want to settle, but I didn't want
No, yeah. You want to be yourself and to be, go to Wind Blew You.
I mean,
So how did you get? So would you meet this German guy on a cruise?
you're not even going to believe me.
I can't wait to hear this.
I met him in Black Duck Cove.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
That's like saying you met him in Monday Pan.
I met him in a shed party in Black Duck Cove. He was visiting my cousin. He went to Cape Breton University for soccer with my cousin Shannon, who's a teacher down in Marystown. And he came to visit my cousin from Germany. And my cousin Shannon came from Germany to visit in Marystown, Bjorn. And we went in that night. And I looked at Mom. I was like, "Is he my cousin?" Mom goes, "I don't think so. I've never seen him before." I was like, "You sure? Who knit him? Like, who owns him?"
What was he doing down there?
He was visiting.
Tourists.
Oh my God! So he went to the German went to university with my cousin Shannon. Shannon's from Bjorn.
Right.
Shannon came back to Marystown to teach, and the German came down to visit him.
Visit Shannon.
So now they're out in Black Duck Cove in my Uncle John's shed drinking,
Right.
and now I'm there.
Right.
And That my cousin? Oh, not my cousin. What does that matter?
Stu Flam, we're all cousins. It's just what's the degree?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and then we just kept in touch, and then I went to visit, and then he came to visit, and then I moved there.
Wow.
And my dad was like, you're gonna move there. I was like, no.
What's Germany like?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They work hard, they play hard.
Right.
Very simple life. Now, I mean, I wasn't in the metropolis. I wasn't in like Munich or Berlin. I was simply in this small little village, an hour outside of Munich,
Yep.
and it was just stunning.
Right.
It was a really nice life.
Yeah.
I settled in better than I thought I was going to, but I knew I wasn't. I eventually,
You can feel it.
this Sound of Music me was soon gonna explode.
Right.
Right? Like, it's only so long I could be this, like, I can't explain it, but
Right.
it was wild. It was a wild experience, and I still talk to my friends there, and they've come to visit.
Right.
And now I'm trying.
But it helps shape you who you are. All life
Oh, I
experiences
no
do.
regrets on anything. None. Yes. What's wrong? Okay. Is there somebody up there?
No, the cat is.
Okay.
He's smelling the cat.
Smelly cat.
Smelly cat. Yeah. No, but all that shapes you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All life experiences do.
Oh, yes. I've done a lot of travel, but coming home was. I didn't know. I like I said, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew. Like, I looked at my brother. He had like the perfect life in my mind.
Right.
He had a house, and he had the car, and he had the kids. He had 3 gorgeous kids, and a travel camper, and a side by side, and a big garage, and he had a love of his life, and everything was. He was a fireman. She was a nurse. It was like a dream, and I was like, how do I get that? I want that. And I'm there now. I'm living that now.
Yeah.
And it is. Like, sometimes you have to sit back and go, I wanted this for so long in my life. I wanted that stability, and now I have it, and I had to take a moment to appreciate it. Because it's so, most people, that's just the natural path to go. And for me, it wasn't. For me, it was like, I'm going to do everything but that first. But now, is it too late for me to get what I want in my life? But you know what? I suckered in that young fella, Andrew. He's 10 years younger than me, you know.
Oh, you robbed the cradle.
Yeah, baby.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's because he looks older than me.
Right.
Botox.
Got him out the Botox.
few fillers. Yeah.
No, I know. I try to tell people that too, because like you're working at real estate now, and I was working at real estate. We were talking about that before we started. Like, just had a little brief chat about it, but
I had a bust of a day.
What?
How I had a bust of a day.
Oh yeah, I know.
Some days are diamond.
And I had my share of those too. And like, I worked as an electrician, and then I got into comedy, and I was like, how do I do this? And I got into real estate because it was something flexible that led me to do comedy, and then every time I would have like
A bad day.
a bad day or whatever. Like, my mom was always on comedy. It's why I got into real estate, was so I could have something flexible, so I could still do comedy. Because when I was working as an electrician, I'd be gone 3 weeks. I was doing 28.
Where were you
I
too?
was in Alberta. Right. So I was 20 and 8. So it's pretty well 21 and 7. So you're working 3 out of the 4 weeks. So you can't ever you can't do it. Right? So
Gone 7-8 months at a time. How can you start a life here?
right.
Gone 7 months.
But you're on the ship doing your art. You're singing. Right? I was on a rig, not doing it. I'm being an electrician.
Not doing it at all.
You can't. You're in camp. You're up. No, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing a damn thing. Right?
Wouldn't do nothing at all.
Oh man, the Wi-Fi couldn't be anything. But but like, it was bad though. Like, and then I got it, and it was just like, I was doing real estate, and I was just like, man, I just want to I took a leave of absence from real estate. I was like, let me just go and be a comedian for a year, follow my face, and then I can not live any what ifs. And then that 1 year was good enough where I was like, all right, I'll go second year and try it or whatever. And I've just been going year after year after year after year
But do
ever
you
since.
ever feel like, I mean, it's similar to real estate that you're kind of like, you don't know
Yes.
your income, like your
I don't. My years look. Yeah. And this is my most uncertain year because we're not doing the best con tour this year, right? So like I've always had like this. I've had the stability of the tour since 2018. We're not doing it this year, so that's why I'm going heavier now in online
I'm
content.
here.
Yes, it is indeed.
I gotta know it all makes sense.
Yeah, but like I'm, you know, but I've just been very much like following my soul around and kind of going where doing what feels right, and with that, like, you get to learn so much about yourself, and you allow yourself to make connections. Like you're like the way you made the connection with Nevaeh, right? Because you're in that, because you're that type of person that's kind of going with everything. You allow yourself to form a connection,
You have to be open to forming connections.
right? With a 4-year-old, right? That's incredible. Most people can't do that, right?
Again, I don't know if it'll ever happen again. That
It
I
might
have
not,
that.
but you allowed yourself to do it, right? And it's kind of like, I don't know, I've gone through my ups and downs and my stuff, but and the whole reason I went on this whole thing, you know, you talk about what you got with Drew and how it all came together and whatever, and it's kind of like the same thing with myself. Like, I'm in a really good situation that I'm really happy with now, and I try to tell my friends that are like, or anyone that's like single and this and that, it's just like, but you can't plan for it. All you can do is try to tap into yourself to the best possible. Live your life, and for you. And it's when you're not pushing for it, you're not expecting it. Just, you know, house party, this and that, whatever. No cell phone service. Someone's there, like blah blah, and it just happens, right?
It doesn't matter the age. Like, I met Drew when I was 37,
Right.
so I knew he was younger,
Right.
but I wasn't ruining my chance at love.
Right.
I was going to con him into it by lying. Because that's how you start real love relationships.
Yes, of course.
But I do remember going, like, out of nowhere, like, I met this guy, but, like, is the age thing going to be a problem? Like, I remember being at the top of, what's on top of Greensleeves? The Well? No,
Right now it's loose tie.
Loose Tie. We were at Loose Tie.
Yeah.
And I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I heard my friend Dana go, "How old are you?" to Drew. And I didn't want to know, because if he was 25 and under, couldn't do it, because I was 37. 25 was no. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. And anyway, so as I don't want to hear it, and it was like this slow motion. Like, I was like, no. As I was running to the table, I was like, don't say how old you are, because I didn't want to know.
Right.
Because I was afraid. And he said 27. I was like, oh, I can do that. So, I mean, there is 10 years between us, but you never know when it's coming.
No.
You never know when it's going to land and when it's going to hit you. And it hit hard.
Yeah.
And you know it when it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's going on. You know what's up. But it's you know, and I guess it's like it takes a certain level of openness though to get there, and patience, right?
Yeah.
And but so he's helped you out with the lemonade stand, I'm sure.
He will be there on Saturday. He was supposed to go fight fires. Actually, he's a force firefighter.
Yeah.
And he said he had to stay home because he's all in. And so I met him right after the very first lemonade stand.
Right.
It might have been like a week after I met him.
Yeah.
And I was just so proud of it. And I was like telling him all about it. And I was like, you never know, like maybe next year you can help. And he's never missed one since.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He serves lemonade. He'll do anything. He will do. I mean, Drew.
Yeah, he's always down to help out.
Oh my God, yes. And
Team player.
Nevaeh loved Drew.
Right.
Like, loved him. Like, she gave him a ring one time and basically proposed. And I have a picture of him holding her in his arms at Cochrane Pond when we were camping. and the moon is just shining down on the two of them dancing. And when we buried her, I put the ring in with her, right?
She says that she was just such a special girl, hey?
She was special, you know, and I mean that. Like, I'm not saying like everybody's special, but I mean like there was something about her. Like there was a reason that she came into my life. There's a reason why she came into many people's lives. She's inspired.
Well, she's coming to the province's life at this point.
I mean, all people all over the world have sent cards and gifts. I mean, there was a time when Nevaeh relapsed and everybody was sending her cards and gifts. And when we moved into Paradise, I had to go through all that in the basement. I had boxes and boxes and boxes. Holly's mom, Nevaeh's mom, Holly, had boxes and boxes and boxes coming from all over the world. She's touched so many lives. And that's special. That is a very special, unique.
Very special.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I never did get to meet her. But when you asked, you know, what was going on, like, what was my schedule like, and then you mentioned this, I was like, sign me up. Yeah.
Yes, and I appreciate you sharing everything. I really do.
Yeah, of course. So it happens this weekend, this Saturday, Paradise.
Bring your short.
So why the shift to Paradise from the Ghouls?
So we've moved to a couple of different places, right?
Yep.
So we the Ghouls there was a traffic issue.
Of course,
Coming in and out of the Ghouls, the racetrack, more traffic issues.
Mm-hmm.
It got tangly. Like we'd have to have like more insurance, and then we'd need traffic, the cops and stuff, and signs. And then we tried it over Mount Pearl, and that was lovely, but it wasn't the perfect fit for us. And then we ended up in Paradise outside. And that very last lemonade stand, actually, I don't know if anyone can see the picture of Nevaeh and myself. That was our last photo together. She wasn't very well there. And, she fell asleep in my arms on stage that day. Like and it was raining. And it was a miserable little shitty day. And we called Eddie Shearer. And I said, Eddie, Nevaeh was crying. She's like, no one's going to come. I said, this lemonade stand is not about the sunshine. This is about you. This is about getting people out to help people with kids with cancer. Like, this is, this is for you. People are coming for you. Mm-hmm. And people did come. Now, was it a banner year for us? No. But we had to decide on whether we were going to go ahead or we're going to go next day, right? So anyway, I said, Eddie says, it doesn't look like the weather's going to be much different, but you never know, right? The system is moving fast. So, oh my God, we all stayed in the camper that night down at at Paradise Double Ice Complex because we had it outside. And the next morning, I heard the camper door fly open. Stephanie! And I said, oh God, Drew, she's awake. And this was Nevaeh. You told me it wasn't going to be sunny today. I was like, oh God. We will never have it outside again. Forever be inside because we cannot predict the weather here.
Right.
And I cannot stand a what is it called? Like a postponement date or a weather delay date or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Just postponing an event.
Because then, you're going to cross something else like a Telly 10 or a whatever. Like, it's just too hard to.
Eddie Shearer has had the hardest job in Newfoundland for the last 12 years.
Not anymore.
No, I haven't seen that. God, I love him, man. Like, I do too.
Love him.
I think it's the world of Eddie. And
Me
he works
too.
his ass off. And because I had him on, and I was talking to him because I was seriously so interested in, what is it like being a meteorologist here? And I asked him, why is it so hard to get the weather right here compared to other places, right? Because everyone,
Because we're in the middle of the Atlantic.
Right, but get this. He said this. I knew that much, but I was like, what is it? But more to it. There's more to it than that. So this is something I didn't know. So,
are you a new weather guy on TV?
maybe. I would never. It's to do with the data, the modules. Yeah. So all these other places, they're they can tell where the weather is a half hour away, an hour away, right? So they can see it. The closest all the data that comes in is like 18 hours old in Newfoundland. Like it's like it's not it's like I guess it's like weather balloons or whatever. But like there's not
Pigeons.
right, but there's none around Newfoundland. It's all down. So like he's getting all this data from like northern like Northeast America and I guess like Nova Scotia
To the party news.
and like out in the ocean and stuff, and you're trying to predict what's that going to be like by the time it reaches Newfoundland, because he doesn't have any data on the coast right here of Newfoundland.
So hard though. It's so hard because people here in Newfoundland, man, when it comes to weather, don't be wrong. Don't be wrong.
And it's so funny. Anybody giving any weatherman any shit for getting weather wrong here is so out of touch, because it's like they all get it wrong sometimes because if
5 minutes it changes.
yeah, it's like, where have you been?
This is not.
You do it. You do it.
It's like the other day it was like 28 degrees with the Humidex.
Yeah.
And the day after I had on a big sweater and a hoodie and pants.
Yeah, and he tries so hard, man. And he's so passionate about weather.
Well, now he can be passionate giving it to someone else. Poor bastard.
Yeah.
He's done. He's paid his dues, buddy, I tell you.
Paid his dues.
Crucified the poor feller.
Yeah.
What else was I going to tell you?
I hope Eddie's there. I hope Eddie's at the lemonade stand. I hope he shows up for a glass of lemonade.
He had to be there.
Yeah.
So we got you there. We got Mike
Yep.
Lynch going to be there. We got Adam Pike going to be there. We got Jonathan Leonard going to be there.
Yeah.
Bill Hart is going to be there. Bill Hart from Coast 101. He's going in the dunk tank.
Yeah. I'm going into dunk tank.
He doesn't know that yet. You know that. Bring
Yep.
change of clothes.
Yep.
Anybody can go in the dunk tank, actually. And it's a new addition to the event. And I think it's going to be fun. Like
Yeah.
the person you love or like the least,
Yeah.
the most, love the most, like the least, whatever.
Yeah.
Put them in it. Go for it. Make a donation.
Right.
Fire away.
And people are playing music there.
We got Kitchen Party and we have Justin Fancy's playing.
Nice.
That's going to be lovely. We're going to do a big 50-50. We got lots of like food vendors outside. Cajones will be there. We got Winky's Wedges, finally.
Nice.
Tried to get the wiener truck, but...
Can't get weird.
Not this year, maybe next year. Yeah, so we're good to go. We got a big antique car show out in the parking lot. Roller
Parking lot
derby.
of.
Paradise Double Ice Complex.
Yeah.
12 to 4.
Yeah.
Saturday. Be there or be square. And if you can't come,
Yeah.
you can buy a virtual cup of lemonade online at nevaesangelfoundation.com. So you just go in, click the virtual lemonade, donate what you want. So if you can't be there, that's just as good. And every penny counts, and it goes directly into the hands of the people that have kids that are sick with pediatric cancer. It stays in Newfoundland. It's not going towards, not that there's anything wrong with putting money towards research or equipment or anything like that, but this is for your day-to-day spending. Like
Right.
if you need to pay your bills, if you need gas, if you need to fix your truck, if you need whatever.
Yeah.
That's the money that we're going to give you.
Yeah. I've always said, like, you know, all charities, whatever, anything that helps is good. But I've always been, like, way bigger on, I guess, stuff that's like, yeah, it's going right in the hands of, like...
All those
like,
things need money.
Being in entertainment like we've been a part of so many fundraisers for various things over the course of our careers. And I always love it when it's like, okay, yeah, we're raising money at this show for somebody to get a wheelchair ramp to go on our new minivan. Like, you know exactly what that money's doing, and you know that whatever the money is raised, they're getting 100% of that money to go to this specific thing. It's not like, all this money is going to go to this organization, and then 26% of that is going to like actually.
That's important
like,
too.
It is important,
but I get the feel good ones are the ones that you're directly helping.
I like the grassroots ones when you know exactly where it's going and you know how much is going there. You know, so I mean, like you say, it's all good, but that's awesome that it's like that. I'm glad to hear it's like that.
Yeah, we're really hoping to have a record year. It's been a long time since we had a good year. I think COVID really frigged around with everybody.
Right. So just again, like just to confirm, like, so the money raised this weekend Where is it exactly going?
So it'll go into our bank account,
Right.
that we have, in trust with a bank.
And then you're going to cruise.
And then I'm buying a new house. I'm going to be my own agent.
Yeah.
Buyer and seller. No, that goes into the account, and we then from the whole year we pull from it whenever we get a diagnosis coming in. So now that we're a registered charity under Nevaeh's Angels Foundation, the umbrella underneath that's the lemonade stand, right?
Right.
So you apply for the money. We go through the applications. We get together as a committee, and we do the thumbs up, thumbs down, full amount. If they've had it before, if they need more, we talk about it. I don't even know if anyone's been denied, but anyway, so that's how we do it. And then, sometimes we know people will give them gift cards we buy them a flight if they need to go to Sick Kids or something, right?
Right.
So the money is there, and we just always want to make sure we have enough so that when it comes to the end of the year, that we're not going, oh God, we have a sick kid and we don't have any money.
Right.
We don't ever want to be in that position.
No, of course not.
So we're really hoping for a good year this year.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm thrilled to be a part of it. I'm glad.
Thrilled to have you.
Right, because the thing is, again, I've been on tour every year. Tour. You're on tour. As in season 2. But I've been on the road doing gigs every year since 2017, essentially.
But every time I've asked Mike, he couldn't do it either.
Right. So because we started BestCon in 2018, and in 2017 we're doing Taste of Home shows in Alberta.
That's right. You were in Alberta. That is
Right.
correct.
So it's and then obviously 2020 COVID year's lockdown. So this is the first year this is the first outside of 2020. This is the first summer I've been around since 2016.
I have to come up to our pool. We got a pool coming now.
Really?
Pool party.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It's going to be sick.
Oh, yeah, I'll go.
Swim at your own risk, though.
Yeah.
No glass bottles in the pool. I haven't set it up yet. But it's going to be deadly.
I want the sauna.
Watch now. I bought it on Temu. It's probably this big.
Temu. Have you ordered anything off Temu?
Everything.
Yeah.
I love Temu.
Yeah, Temu's underrated.
After buying clothes on it, and it's deadly.
Yeah, I've bought gadgets and other stuff, and it comes and the odd time, it's oh, I see what they did there, or maybe I should have read the description a little better.
But that's on you.
But that's on me. That's on me. So there was one thing about a dongle for
I don't know why that word makes me laugh every time.
I know it's a silly word.
Childish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're silly.
We're silly.
But it's so you put it in and you get 4 USB ports, a couple USB-Cs, whatever, right? But a couple of the USB ports, one of the USB ports is essentially only good for power. There's no data can actually be transferred through it.
Didn't read the fine print.
But the fine print says that, and I'm I can't really complain, right? But it made it look no, it's 4 USB ports as USB ports,
And you got to read the size of stuff.
Yeah.
When Drew and I were getting married, I had a sign that said, "Hey, Daddy." No. "Hey, Mommy, here comes Daddy. Are you ready?"
No, it doesn't, she says.
What's it say?
I'll wait, hold up. I know what it says.
Oh, God. It says,
Mommy, no. Daddy, are you ready? Here comes Mommy.
oh, yeah, right. Right. He's up there. I'm walking in. Right. Yeah.
I know where it is.
That's fine. We got it. I was wrong. You're right. Okay.
It says, Daddy, are you ready? Here comes Mommy.
Are
you
you
go.
ready? Here comes Mommy.
Yeah.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Yeah.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. So that's what we had on the front. So anyway, it doesn't matter. It says, yeah, "Daddy, are you ready? Here comes Mommy." So I wanted the sign that goes on the front of that carriage that she was in. She was only 1. And when it came,
I was barely one.
it was this big. I was like,
I was barely
what am I got you, boo. We're almost done. It was this big. I was like, what? That's a coaster. So I had to get another one made. But you know what? On me.
Right.
Didn't read the fine print.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I had a pair of shoes come. They're $4. And they're excellent. Temu.
That's deadly.
I know.
Some of the stuff you can find is on Amazon is identical to what's on Temu. You're getting just
Wild.
a quarter the price. Mm-hmm. That buys all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
Stuff I don't need.
I think about getting car mats on their next.
Car mats?
Yeah, car mats, like mats for
Oh,
car.
mats.
And see what they're like. I'm wary, but I might get them.
Mat store called G-Rise.
Shut up.
G-Rise mats.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go.
So I know you do. So Steph, just quickly though. So you're in the real estate game now,
I am.
right? And you've been in it for
Year and a couple months.
yeah, and you're enjoying it.
I am. I mean, inventing yourself at 48, 47 is not an easy feat.
Right.
But, you're backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Look out.
You got
You got to do it.
Gotta
You got to figure it
something,
out. And I've never been like the person that's like, oh, what am I going to do? Now what? It's like, okay, I just got to clear my head and then let's go. Right.
Yeah, you'll
So
figure
it
it
was
out.
very much just like, I think I cried on my floor, wished the cats would eat me and wished I was dead for a couple of days. But then, you know what? A couple of Ativan and I was up and I was good. Let's go.
right.
And I haven't stopped since and I haven't looked back.
Yeah,
So.
that's good. And you got your real estate page on Facebook, right?
What is it?
It's like Steph O'Brien. Is it EXP?
That real estate, the XP Realty, that real estate girl, gal.
Is it that real estate girl? You should know your own Facebook page. Steph, I'm trying to plug your shit here. What's your number? What's your email? Do you know that?
709-771-7123. Call me for a good time. You can also find that on the bathroom stalls at the Rob Roy.
you-
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Are you still open for gigs, like for singing gigs? Do you do any more singing or?
You know what? Kind of. Thanks, my baba. We do still sing, but I don't have it in me like I did to do the Friday, Saturday nights.
Yeah.
A Christmas gig, a corporate gig every now and then, deadly.
Right.
But don't call me to go down and sing at 10 o'clock and finish and get home at 5 in the morning. It ain't happening.
Right.
I'm almost 50 for God's sakes. I know. Say it.
You don't look 50.
Stop it.
It's true though.
I'd raise my eyebrows more with too much Botox.
That's what I say. Do that. Mommy can't even do
I
that.
can't. I can't even believe you're 45.
Don't trap me with a good time.
What there? Right.
We're getting foolish now. I really do have to go. I have a lemonade stand to plan.
Okay, good.
Finish planning.
Okay, so I'm not coming. I'm just kidding.
More fire to put out tonight.
Yeah, right. No.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course.
Jade, I appreciate you coming.
I wanted to have you on anyway, and then with the whole lemonade stand and this week coming, I was like, this is perfect. Yeah, so it's awesome, and we can do it again and chat about whatever else. And
Ratings are gonna go through the roof.
I hope so.
I just need to say, for the record, I did not know we were going to be on video. I'm wearing Dad's jean jacket, never combed my hair, not a Jamaica bond, stately.
Heaven forbid you looks like yourself. Embrace who you are, Steph. We've been talking about finding yourself and being yourself, and you're like, I had no idea people was going to see me be myself, right? I'm not comfortable as myself.
You're wearing underwear. God, Colin.
Yeah, but nobody knew that. You just gave that away, you fool. Prove it.
Show us your... Okay. All right. No, okay.
Okay, no. We got lemonade to sell. That's the perfect way to end it.
Oh.
All right, we're going to end it with that.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
All right.